So, retail media. Let's first define what is a retail media network. So, retailers are essentially offering brands the opportunity to buy valuable ad inventory directly on their site. This could be search ads, display ads, video ads, really depending on the retail network. So, obviously, Amazon being the largest. And then, as we'll talk about as we go here, increased competition with brands like Home Depot, Costco, Nordstrom offering smaller niche retail media networks. Why is this important? They're offering this access to their audience to monetize their first party data. And brands are basically paying for it by the click or by impression through the CPM model. But more or less, what we're going to cover today is the growth and proliferation of retail media. So, how are these different networks growing the total share of the pie, increased competition across the board, new networks becoming more competitive and challenging Amazon directly, and of course, AI integration into retail media. How is AI driving stronger shopper personalization, better results, boosting engagement, and ultimately increasing total productivity and growth for everybody involved? So retail media is actually outpacing traditional search spending in terms of growth. So as you can see on the chart, the projections from 2025 to 2028 are pretty staggering. You're looking at basically US retail media growing by double digits over 4 years, reaching almost $77 billion in spend. Whereas traditional search, so think, Google, Bing, et cetera, less than 1% growth by 2028. So basically, people that are searching specifically for products and to read reviews are starting their searches elsewhere. And as Rich kind of covered over there on the search section, the total share of the pie that Google has had is slowly diminishing, but will continue to remain dominant in terms of total numbers. As of today, 59% of retail marketers worldwide say that ad capacity and media investment and performance is the most crucial to them. But ultimately, I would expect that number to continue to grow upwards as this space evolves. So let's dive into non-endemic media first by defining it. So these are brands that do not sell their product on the website they're advertising on. So this could be a sneaker manufacturer selling on Walmart if Walmart does not have distribution of those products, but utilizing the retail media network to attract new eyeballs. So there was an eMarketer survey breaking down how are brands actually engaging with their retail partners. And the question was, have you ever taken advantage of a retail media network offering at a retailer where you are not an endemic brand, meaning not a native seller on that platform? So 53% of brands in total have often utilized these retail media networks that do not carry their product. And so with this survey being from 2024, I would expect that number to continue to grow significantly. Only 20% have not engaged a retail media network in any capacity. And if you look at omni-channel retail media spend, you're looking at about a quarter of all US media spend by 2028. So the 47% of companies that haven't engaged as a non-endemic brand, I think that number is going to continue to drop based on the rollout of new competitive niche networks and really just the proliferation of advertising across these networks as brands look to expand their total reach and total inventory beyond search, social, programmatic. So ad spend has been trending towards omni-channel. As you could see, the shift from traditional to digital media is driving a large percentage of the growth in total advertising dollars. And so this chart provides a breakdown of search advertising, retail media on-site or digital, and retail media off-site. So this includes in-store, digital display, brick and mortar. And as you could see, very few brands are looking to be relatively flat or decrease spending. There is a much larger chunk of the pie here that are essentially looking to increase or shift their media budget over to retail media on site and off, and to increase total spending with incremental budget, adding to the total pie, and essentially looking to drive incremental sales if they're essentially a brand selling a physical product, or even if you're not, if you're an insurance company, if you're a bank, there's a large number of different verticals that can benefit from reaching eyeballs while they're during the shopping process. So what are some of the challenges for these long tail retail media networks? So first off, you're competing directly with Amazon. So although these networks have surged, it is a fragmented ecosystem. There is not a lot of standardization in terms of how these metrics break down, how they receive reporting for sales, impressions, clicks, and how it's all synced up. Many of these brands have taken the plunge to basically monetize their audiences and their valuable first party data by launching and building their own retail media networks. But the technology investment is substantial. And essentially, these are some of the major challenges that have held other brands back from launching their own retail media networks. So, as we discussed, one of the major concerns that brands have voiced in this space is the lack of cross-platform standardization. So, if you are selling on Amazon and Walmart, and then you want to launch on another third-party retail media network like Home Depot, you may be surprised to find that the definitions of things like attributed sales, cost per impression, even Amazon specific metrics like advertising, cost of sale simply don't carry over. So you can see timeliness of data, retailer control, cost, all of these pieces add up to essentially show that many that have considered advertising either as a native or non-endemic brand have had to look at other options because they're simply not confident in the data coming through at this time. So IAB specifically is working towards standardization efforts. I would not expect those efforts to be fruitful anytime soon because you are trying to coordinate a very long tail of niche retail media networks all into one space with shared metrics and defined success. But I would expect down the line this will improve and become less of a concern. So, what is the impact thus far of AI on retail media, as well as looking to the future a little bit? So, this is from an eMarketer survey, the expected impact of AI on retail media strategy, according to agency decision makers. So, the single largest category was providing insights and recommendations. This largely has to do with reporting. Real-time campaign optimization. So this could be day parting, this could be using contextual shopping signals to provide a better product sort to the user during their shopping journey, automation and enhancing creative efforts through generative AI, as well as even smaller aspects like fitting video to different screen sizes, just to ensure you're reaching the maximum number of users. So more or less, agency decision makers want to see increased personalization when reaching shoppers and optimizing their campaigns. And another large piece of it is reducing operational overhead and costs by automating tasks and being able to get done with a small team seems to be a major theme of a lot of these different surveys around why brands are or are not using AI as part of their retail media mix. So major takeaways, retail media spend is growing annually in store and online. And basically shoppers as well as media buyers are expecting a cohesive omni-channel experience. So those digital signage in store matching the brand feel of the online shopping experience. Increased retail media competition. As we discussed, these networks are going to be pushed to adopt clear and concise measurement standards. So as you're trying to compete with Amazon and Walmart as a Nordstrom or a Home Depot, you have to be ready to adapt how your platform provides information and data to the brands that are actively advertising, both the brands that sell the product with you or are essentially native, or the non-endemic brands we discussed that simply do not sell the product on platform, but they want access to your rich audience data, first party data, and the ability to reach their customers more or less where they hang out online. AI and retail media. So these algorithms are analyzing user data to predict preferences, shopping behavior, etc. Have you added the product to cart? Have you shopped on a competitor website? Basically baking in thousands of contextual signals simultaneously, leading to higher engagement and user satisfaction. But in a lot of instances, retail media networks are looking at this as a simple expansion of the brand's creative assets, their headlines and descriptions as part of their search ads, and basically just trying to help brands sell on their platforms more easily by using AI.